Welcome to Blood for Comics, where we will be going over Absolute Superman 16. If you could, please smash that like button, as it's hard for small content creators to get any traction in YouTube, but if you would, I'd appreciate it. Now let's jump right in. Jumping right in, we find Hawkman and another explorer going into the tombs of Teth-Adam, where they look for a treasured possession. And as they're going down, they're trying to find the hieroglyphics, and they end up finding the burial chamber. It's somewhere below them, and as they move carefully, Hawkman is betrayed by this explorer he's going down with. The guy ends up cutting his rope, and he falls down and braces himself onto rocks, and the man reveals Berlin pays better. So what this means is they were originally employed by Lazarus, but what happens is this man reveals he's working for Berlin and he's trying to get this artifact to Hitler. As Hoffman states, if the legends are true, the power in this tomb could change the course of the war. There is no way I'm letting a monster like Hitler get his hands on this. And the other explorer basically just spits in his face. For a man who's seen so much of the world, you're rather ignorant of its workings. And what happens is Hawkman begins to fall, but he grabs his mace from the tomb and he rises up among the peacemakers and reveals he's one of the good guys. Which is so cool because Hawkman, in Absolute Evil, kills Green Arrow. At least that's what we come to a conclusion of, because we see him walking into the room with a dead Green Arrow. So I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy, but here he comes rising above with power such as no other given to him from the tomb of Teth-Adam, which is really interesting. So jumping back to the present day now, we see Hawkman talking to Superman, and he's like, "Hey, can you hear me, kid? I said I'm one of the good guys," tying into the past. So he claims he's here to help, but Superman vanishes from him, just like that. He's like, "What the hell?" But Superman comes back and he says, "Sorry, a door fell off a plane in Cleveland," which is, Superman saving lives. But the Hawkman's like, "Listen, I need to talk to you." And Superman just keeps wishing away from him because he's got to save people. And Hawkman's just like, "Hey, stop doing that. I'm here. I need to talk to you. You need to listen." And what happens is Clark's like, "There are people in trouble out there." And Hawkman's like, "There's always people in trouble. We're talking here." And Superman's like, "Is that what we're doing?" He's like, "And your grip. It's not from here. It's not from Earth. Who are you?" And he's like, "Listen, I'm used to people listening when I speak. I'm born and raised in Gotham City, before the place went to hell." And I'm Dr. Carter Hall, archaeologist retired, but back during the war when I was flying around busting Nazi skulls, they called me the Hawkman. Hence, we are revealed to the character Hawkman, even though we already know this. And Superman's like, "This suit is alien and made of some sort of metal." And well, actually that's what Hawkman's telling Superman, and Superman's trying to find out, like, "How do you know that I'm alien?" But little does Superman know he's so young, and he does have some arrogance to him, but he already spilled he was an alien. And Hawkman's like, "Come on, let's walk and talk, or fly and talk, I should say." And as we continue on, they continue flying through the sky, and Hawkman, it just basically drops so much like information that he was once, he's lived for centuries. He is like powerful. There's others with powers, and he's dropping all this information in Superman's face, and Superman's like confused. He's like, "There's more with powers," and Hawkman just drops it that there's a bunch of people, and that there's some people like Dr. Fate, Wesley Dodds, Iron Muir, I can't pronounce these names, Iron Muir, and Oliver Queen. So hence there are other heroes like Dr. Fate among them. And Hawkman just says they were all stupid, which leads me to believe that Hawkman probably killed them. And which is unfortunate because I would have really liked to see a absolute Dr. Fate. But and he basically just kind of toys with Superman here. He just tells him, like, the way of the world was set a long time ago, and you want to make a difference, you don't do it by being the spotlight. And he's like you've been doing. And Superman's like, "Me? Like, who is this guy?" He has no idea who this guy is. And obviously Hawkman just dumps it like, listen, you're Superman. You've been getting your picture taken everywhere, and I have saved probably billions of people, and they have no idea who I am. And Superman's like, and what way is that? A response to saving people. And it's revealed Hawkman kills that other explorer that had cut him down. And he goes, "Well, I can show you, kid. Those others, they wouldn't listen to me, but you're different. And I don't want you to end up like them." He's kind of manipulating Superman here from what I can tell. He says, "You're a rookie. Best to listen to the advice of somebody who's walked this beat for a damn near century." And Superman just wants to cut to the chase, like, "What's your advice?" And Hawkman's like, "Listen, you can't have this hatred with Lazarus. You should learn to work with them." And Superman's like, "Work with Lazarus? The people who tortured me, brutalized my friends, who want to subjugate the planet? The people who tried to make me a mass murderer?" And Hawkman's like, "Listen, you're not understanding the bigger picture, kid. Are you about to run off again?" And he's like, "Listen, we're gonna have a problem if you do." And then he's like, "I won't run from you." And he just like flies away as fast as he can. And Hawkman's like, "You bastard." And then going into the Daily Planet here, we have Lois Lane with this address trying to find out the Daily Planet office. And here we go. This is our first look at Perry White. And they have a little bit of a conversation, and he says, "Good luck with the interview for the Daily Planet," because Lois is here. Because again, she's now going to become the Lois we all know and love, a reporter. And as this is so cool because like as she talks to Perry, Perry just drops it on her. I'm Perry White, editor on the Planet's Metro desk for 35 years up until about 10 minutes ago. And which is really cool because uh, oh man, he just talks about how the planet was a grand old gal once upon a time, and I guess now she's the Titanic that sunk, and he's trying to basically um I don't know what he's doing, honestly. There's a lot of mystery to Perry White's character right now. I can't really articulate what's going on, but what happens is he wishes Lois good luck on the interview, and he also says that this business will break your heart, kid. What a way to go. And then oh man. And then Lois looks up. She's interrupted from her text with Jimmy Olsen and sees this monster in Metropolis. And going in, we have Hawkman and Superman again. And he's like, "Sorry about that, Hawkman, but something's happening in Metropolis." And Hawkman just beats the living hell out of him. He just smacks him with his mace as quick and fast as he can. And he just goes tumbling down. He's like, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" And Hawkman's like, "I'm going to teach you a lesson, whether you like it or not." And Superman's just like, "All right, you asked for this." And he launches his laser eyes and he fails. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm still asking." And Hawkman's like, "Is that it? Microwave eyes? That's the best you could do?" And they have this little battle, and he just like Superman tries to punch, and Hawkman just catches his arm. He's like pathetic, and basically like he's willing to bet that Superman has never fought a fight in his life without his powers. And sure enough, he is basically true. And he hits him across the head with his mace. But Superman lands a really nice punch. He says, "But I've got my powers now." And boom, sends Hawkman flying into the subway. And then, as Hawkman comes up to land another blow, there's a huge monster that's revealed, and that's why Superman was going to Metropolis. And Hawkman decides, well, we don't know what he decides to do yet, but this is the only fight that matters, Superman says, is fighting the monster. And look, it's already got like people of Metropolis it's holding, but yeah, and then continuing on, this is where we meet absolute Lex Luthor. And what's crazy here is that, someone's offering him a generous offer, according to Lex, and he appreciates this certain someone coming all the way out here to offer it to Lex. But he's like, "Why me? I'm just a guy, basically, that, runs a small town gas station and coaches Little League football. And this guy is secretly Brainiac, and he doesn't reveal it yet. But Brainiac's like, "You're a very special individual, and I'd like you to help me with this project that's around Superman." And Lex is like, sorry, I don't know who that is. I don't really care for the news and stuff. And, Superman, like, he has no idea who Superman is, basically. And his kids call him out. They're like, Lex, uh, mom says we're getting ready to cut the cake. And so Lex is like, all right, I'm coming, I'm coming. And so he walks with Brainiac, and Brainiac's like, listen, listen, if it's to pay, like, I can pay you however much you need. It is no problem at all. I will add everything you need, and we will make sure you thrive. I just need your help to be in the Lex Luthor business. And Lex is like, that's awfully flattering, but um, everything I have is right here. I'm the luckiest man in the world. And Brainiac is gonna take it all away. Lex is like, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to decline. Brainiac's like, I'm afraid that's disappointing. And Lex is like, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. He's like, oh, I won't be leaving. And he transforms into Brainiac. He's like, you're not the Lex I thought you were. You're nothing like the man of unquenchable ambition you're meant to be. You see, this universe, I've seen beyond it. I've seen a Luthor who raised himself up to throttle gods with his own hands. You are not that Luthor, but that's all right. We need some proper motivation. My name is Brainiac. Brainiac, I can't talk. And I'm told I can be quite motivating. Let's get started. And he pulls out this chainsaw arms, and he's about to cut up everyone Lex loves. And guys, that is where we end Absolute Superman 16. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys all enjoyed this issue. Please consider hitting that subscribe and like button, and we will see you all later. Peace.